Greetings. We are here at the NASPL show in Milwaukee at the Abacus Lottery Everywhere. It's been 13 years that the challenge to create in-lane sales access to play the lottery in lane and to integrate self-serve technology and in-lane sales. But Simon, tell us a little bit about, well, and actually part of that story, the success story, is you're reaching a tipping point, aren't you? You were just awarded a contract for Ireland and some others that you can tell us about, but the main thing is, what is it that your product and service are accomplishing for lotteries?
Yeah, well, I think we've always had a vision at Abacus that there is an opportunity to sell lottery across many different channels of distribution, and one of those ways of actually getting into those environments was by integrating directly into a retailer's point of sale, and that's what Abacus is about. We don't generally use the terminology these days of in-lane, because it's a lot more than just in-lane. It's integrating, as I say, into that retail environment, which actually enables us to sell products, lottery products, across all the different channels in a true omni-channel environment within that retail space, whether that be their manned in-lane tills or self-serve tills. It could even be online. We're selling today lottery tickets today on a groceries online website in Europe. That's an innovation that hasn't been done anywhere else yet in the world, which is a great new innovation, but also looking at mobile technologies as well as online as well. So it cuts across all the different channels in the marketplace.
Is it the case that the retail sector, which hasn't been the fastest to modernize in the past, that they're kind of at an inflection point where they're starting to move?
I think that's very much the case. I think the changes have been accelerated tremendously because of the pandemic in the last 3 or 4 years. There was a huge move towards modernization within retail, which has been taking place over the last 10 to 15 years. And as I say, that has certainly accelerated in the last 2 to 3 years. And I think all the retail software providers, hardware providers within retail are looking at much more frictionless, improving the customer experience for their own customers within that environment. And that actually means using technology to drive that opportunity. And actually that's what Abacus wants to be part of. In terms of offering, making sure that lottery is available in that space, and part of that rapidly changing retail environment.
Well, and am I wrong in thinking that part of the momentum is being partly driven by the willingness on the part of the consumer to change and adapt new ways of doing things that they see, driven perhaps by the pandemic, how much faster and easier self-service and other kinds of learning curves that are required of the consumer, they're doing it, right?
Yeah, I think that's a very big part of it. I don't think it's the only part of it. I think what retailers are experiencing is that they are having difficulties to recruit and retain staff, which means that technology becomes much more a key component of the way that they operate today in the marketplace. Yeah. But it's also ensuring that their products are fully integrated into their own ecosystem. Yeah. And for a long time, lottery has been a separate product outside of that ecosystem, which doesn't always manage very well within retail. And I think lottery has to understand and accept that unless they're part of that ecosystem, they're not going to be taken as seriously as perhaps we'd like to be. And actually by integrating and giving the retailer more control of our industry is a huge benefit to them and should be also a huge benefit for us.
Well, this has been fabulous. There's a lot more to explain and talk about, and I hope you look at the articles that Abacus contributes to our magazine, where we're talking about the evolutions, the innovation that's taking place at retail, and Abacus's role in that. Simon Butler, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Abacus Lottery Everywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Always a pleasure. Thank you.